Everyone for coming. My name is Carreras, as said before. I will be talking about the economic opportunities for the opera industry with showing opera in the virtual world. It's a little bit about me. My BS, I'm a double major with vocal performance and business administration. That's sort of my drive for the interest in this topic. I am also a soprano, classical singer in training, a professional consultant, and an RA on campus. The purpose of this experiment is to shed a light on economic opportunities for the opera industry, broaden the typical opera audience, and create inclusive and accommodating alternatives for watching operas. So there's a brief hypothesis: if operas were available on virtual reality platforms in addition to in-person performances, that the revenue of the opera company would dramatically increase because of an infinite number and variation of seats that could be sold for each opera performance. The opera used was La Serva Perdona by Pergolesi, and this is just the YouTube link that I used in order to show it. And a brief thank you to Dr. Hirschberger's class. These are some of the participants. I said and others because a few preferred not to be mentioned, but it was really great help that each of them spent an hour of their time coming in and watching this opera and filling out some surveys for me. So thanks to them. So for the procedure that I had them do, I had every participant fill out an agreement form and previewing data survey. And then I let the participant adjust the headset on their head using two straps back here to tighten it, and then one over the head like this to their comfort level, sitting down. And once you put on the VR headset, you can actually see the two remote controls. You use it to click to watch the opera. They then watched the 45-minute opera and filled out a survey after viewing it. And then, after all of them filled out their surveys, I analyzed the data to see what we could find. So for the demographic and age, it's a very narrow age range because this is a college undergrad class that I was using. So it's 18 to 22-year-olds, mostly 19, 18, as this was a gen ed class, but some are older. For preferred pronouns, drastically, there's a difference between the amount of people that prefer she, her, as to he, him that participated. And then for prior use of the technology, most people hadn't used Oculus technology or even worn a VR headset before, so this is a brand new experience for them, which was very exciting. But there was still a portion that had used them. So for prior opera viewing, have you seen an opera before? This is a little bit funny because I originally wrote this question when I was going to open it to the more Geneseo community, but then since I had one headset and with COVID, I'm like, let me keep it to a class of students here. So most of them really should have put yes, but if they really didn't watch it all the way through, or if they weren't sure if it counted, they may have put no. But there was an array of answers, and we did have some music students and some people with prior interest in opera. Like some did see it live, some have seen it in movie theaters, most YouTube, as there is a lot of free links, purchased digital copies, etc. So once they watched the opera, I analyzed the enjoyment overall, and I was actually very happy because there was a large array, but most of them, it was towards the upper scale, about the 6 to 10 range, more specifically 7 to 10 up there. So they really, really enjoyed it as a whole. However, I wanted to delve a little bit deeper, as some people have preferences to what parts of the experience were their favorite. So for more specific enjoyment, the enjoyment for the opera specifically, I knew picking this opera, it wasn't the most popular or well-known, like La Traviata or La Nozze di Figaro. However, there was some people that enjoyed it a lot. There were some people that really didn't enjoy the opera, which was fine. I wanted to pick a shorter sample size for time's sake. And there was different results for using the Oculus headset. Some people really enjoyed it. Some people sitting digitally for too long, it just wasn't really for them. However, that is what we want, as I will discuss soon. Because viewing platform preference, there's a very even number here, which is actually exactly the results that I wanted, because we don't want everyone wanting to watch in person, because then seats will get sold out and money will be missed. And we don't want everyone to be virtual, because then we can't have the beauty of having a live audience and live audience reactions. Therefore, half people wanting to go and see the opera means that opera seats can still sell out in person, but there's an infinite opportunity for them to also sell digitally, where you don't have to disclose the amount of seats that are sold. You can say a lot of people are going to see this opera, which could mean 5, it could mean 500, but it's impressive to a wider audience that you're marketing to that after a live theater is being sold out, people still want to go see it digitally. And they could go see it from wherever they are, which is very accommodating as far as COVID goes, with immunocompromised people, if you have anxiety now with sitting in large audiences, if you just prefer technology. So I was very happy that it was an even split. For possible future improvements, how could your viewing experience be improved? I asked some of the participants. This is a very starter, low budget experiment. This is not in a movie theater, it's not in a big design comfy space. They sat in an office chair with a simple Oculus Quest 2 headset. And so many people said more comfortable seating arrangement. I couldn't agree more. More comfortable headset. There's also more headsets will be created in the future. I could definitely understand that, especially if they didn't adjust it completely to their comfort zone, because I had that do that on their own for health reasons. Breaks during the show. How many people said that is something that I definitely had thought in the beginning would be a preference. And better visual quality. And part of that is I used a free YouTube clip, which did have pretty good visual quality. However, because this idea is new, there isn't Opera VR really out there yet, ready to be accessed. That was why I explored this, in the hopes that maybe one day there is extremely good visual immersive quality. So for the demands, I asked them, in the future, would you pay to see a professional opera production through VR technology? Over half of people said yes, which is great. If under half of people said yes, well, this experiment wouldn't be that useful. But over half of them did say yes, which is very good. If yes, how much would you be willing to pay for a ticket? I loved that there was an array of answers here. Some people said below 20. A lot of people said 20 to 50, and some even said above $50. And the reason why this is also optimal is because you can do whatever you want with this technology. You can have different angles of virtual seats. Imagine a seat in orchestra, or in the mezzanine, or even in the box on the side. You could do anything you want, and you could even adjust the price as you want to adjust it. So as much as people are all watching it on the same platform, they're still seeing a different angle of the show, so you could use that to your advantage as if they were there in person. So to note some experiment flaws, I did design this on myself on a whim, and music experiments are not something that you grow up knowing how to do, so I definitely flew by the seat of my pants a little bit sometimes. There's a very narrow age range, and that age is Gen Z, which grew up in the world of technology, so we didn't get some of the older community yet per se. That would be the next step, is to get that opinion, and maybe some younger community as well. Majority of participants were women. We do want a more equal number of demographic-wise. We also want a larger number of participants. The larger the sample size, the more accurate the results. And opera is short and not the most popular. Hey guys. So many operas are at least 2 hours long, if not 3. So this opera is only 45 minutes, which is very inaccurate to what a lot of them are. And it wasn't one that was widely known. So the results may skew if you were to show a 2 to 3 hour opera. However, if I were to do that, I would include an intermission, at least one, like you would if you were going to see it live, especially because that's good for health, to take your eyes away from the headset. Additionally, YouTube quality. It was a pretty good quality. We actually used this video for Dr. Hirschberger's class that I took last year, so it was pretty good quality. However, the idea with VR technology is for it to be very, very sharp and immersive. So hopefully in the future, if this technology were to advance in the world of the opera community, it would be a lot more sharp and immersive. So then what does all of this mean for the opera world? So there is a potential to expand its audience by introducing VR. Right now, one thing that an opera coach, Kamal Khan, who trains opera singers like Nadine Sierra and Rebecca Ringel, said to me is that many young people who want to go into opera are not happy with how the world currently is. And I was like, oh, I mean, yeah. But but it's also classical music is very traditional. And when I was growing up in school, a lot of people saw as just, oh, Mozart, oh, boring. This is what older people listen to. This is only played on records. People still going have millions of dollars and have the opera classes. Well, I don't have millions of dollars, not by a long shot, but I do see a passion for opera. It's just all about marketing and accommodating with the world changing, and the world is changing. And there will be maybe more pandemics. No one saw the pandemic coming, and it was a huge problem for not just the opera industry, but the Broadway theater community and a ton of other live arts programs. They had to figure it out immediately. But with this technology, you can do exactly what you want anywhere, and you could still share the beauty of the music that's been around for hundreds of years. So it's also the fact that there's a wide variety of opportunities here, because there will always be people that prefer in-person performances, especially if they know they have an option between the two, because then it's just they get to pick, and there's a larger chance they will pick at least one. But you still have that live audience sense. But again, there's a finite number of seats in each theater. I feel that there should never be a finite amount of money that is made on a piece of art that a cast puts a million hours of time and energy into. It should be infinite. Everyone should get a chance to see it no matter where they are, if they live near an opera, if they live far away. And there's also endless opportunities as far as technological advancement and creativity here. Selling different virtual seats for different prices and different angles of the opera. Selling seats that take place from the point of view of a character on stage. For instance, dress rehearsals at the Met, where it's the same amount of energy and technique that goes in as if there was a live audience there. Say we get to the point where we put a camera on a lead role of the opera, where you get to watch, you get to purchase and watch from that character's point of view. You get to hear their sounds, you get to see exactly what they're seeing, you get to hear the ensemble around them. You can sell from different characters' perspectives, and I think that would create the immersion, because we all love to be immersed in the storyline that we are witnessing, and it would be great for people that would want to feel what it's like to be up on that stage and to see what's going on. Also the idea of NFTs, if I wanted to get into this. So in opera settings, if you ever go to an opera live, a lot of them it's, you choose what you want to wear, especially at the Met right now. There's no dress code. People will go in jeans and a sweatshirt, but people will also go in full gowns. That was what I experienced when I went to see La Traviata. There was many audience members that showed up in full gowns, some in business casual, some in completely casual. And you can take advantage of this by making the experience even more immersive. Now that there's the use of VR avatars, maybe you sell opera gowns in your opera company that are typically worn. Yeah, right? I mean, why not? If it's out there, make it fun. Make it fun for people. People are at home a lot. People want to experience the world in any way they possibly can. And they can even do it at a more affordable price instead of going to a designer place and spending $1,000 on a dress for one evening. And last, the unlimited number of seats. Imagine this gets so popular where one opera performance, there's like 100,000 people watching. That's one opera performance where you're selling that many seats to people all around the world. And it could be VR headsets from home. It could be VR movie theaters that are created where they buy tickets, but you could stream that much. There's that big of a possibility. And I would really like to see where this could go. I believe in keeping the beauty of classical music alive, definitely, but I also believe in change and taking advantage of the opportunities that are presented. This classical music was created in a world where there wasn't electricity, really. There was just live performances. When it was first created, it was just very casual, just like how you go to a regular concert of your favorite band. But things have changed now. You can live online, which means some people may prefer that, and we should take advantage of that if we can, because we should keep opera alive. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's magical, and I feel more people should experience it. Thank you. You can reach me on email or LinkedIn if you need.